you've got to understand, chosen ones, empaths, that even if you've been discarded in the most brutal way, right? They're not done with you. It's not the last time you see the narcissist, right? You know, some of these narcissists will enable you to get married, have children, then they'll do a discard, so you've got all these connections with them. But what I'm trying to say is if you utilize the door slam, it doesn't matter if you've been discarded, whether you've got children, if you put the door slam in place, it is one of the worst fears for the narcissist. Because from then on, they know they can't work back to you. They can't come back to you for a safety net. They can't come back to you when things go wrong. And you need to make that clear to the narcissist, right? Sometimes, even if we've been discarded, don't feel like that you're in a losing position. Don't feel like everyone's looking at you, that you're the loser. You're the winner. Because the reason why you're the winner, right, is because you're an empath and you was tolerating the abuse, and it was out of your hands in why it come to an end. It was out of the narcissist's hands in why it come to an end. It was actually God making it, or the universe, however you want to look at it, causing the ending between your relationship. If you have to look between the veil, you have to look behind the veil, you have to understand that there was a hidden hand that caused the separation. So that's why you need to fundamentally understand why the narcissist is acting so deranged. You can't get caught up in the emotions of it. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. But so when you're witnessing the narcissist doing whatever they're doing, devaluing, cheating, smearing your name, acting crazy, and then at first all you was trying to do is try and solve it, but there's nothing that you can do to solve it. No matter what you do to try and solve it, it's not happening. That's because it's out of the narcissist's control as well. It's out of the narcissist's control to actually stop doing what they're doing. They've been destined for destruction. They've been destined for destruction. They're not winning. So that's why I say, if you put a door slam in place, okay, let's say you still have a connection with them through children, right? You can grey rock method them, right? So you really seem dissatisfied. Anytime they talk to you about anything but your child, you make them feel so uncomfortable you make them feel so uncomfortable. You make them feel miserable. You make them feel so uncomfortable with even voicing their words out of their mouth. Also, you tell them about themselves. If you've got children with them, you need to actually get a speech ready, because you're going to have to see this person week in, week out. So on one of the given days, lay it down to them and you tell them. It helps, it's therapy to actually express ourselves, something the narcissist doesn't do. Empaths express ourselves, we express our emotions, we laugh, we cry, we sing, we rejoice, we shout, we scream, right? That's what we do as empaths because we're authentic. The narcissist doesn't do this. So if we lay it down to them and say, you know what? You seriously messed up now. Look, I'm just giving you, this is what's come to my head. You seriously messed up. You're real dusty. I'm grateful that we met our daughter, but I wish I never met you. And I feel sick to my stomach of the times when I tried to make it work. I tried to make it work with you when you're nothing but a dusty. Or call him your own name. All of us have got a little name that we like to, a little name, do you know what I'm saying? Call them what do you know what I mean? Some derogatory name. Because this will cause a narcissistic injury. And it's not feeding them. A lot of people say, oh, you're just feeding the supply, go no contacts, go no... Yeah, okay. But at least get the last word before you utilize this grey rock method or no contact. You got to understand that if you don't have children and you put this door slam in place, it makes them know, it makes them know that you're not to be messed with. You have the last laugh. You have the last laugh. You actually do the discard. That's what I'm saying. I called the title of the video the door slam, but realistically, once we do that, we're discarding them. Regardless if we think we inverted commas were discarded first, they're never done with us. They don't know what they want from one day to the next. What our mistake is when they started saying, oh, I don't want to be with you, or they started to try and break contact with us. Our mistake was we gave them an emotional response. Now that emotional response is something that feeds that's something that feeds them. That's something that is a supply to them by us getting emotional. If we were cold, like I mentioned in the grey rock method, if we'd practiced grey rock method when they first ever was making out they don't want to be with us, they would have come running back to us. Believe you me, they would have come running back with open arms. They would have come back bleeding for us. If we said, what? You doing that? Get away from me, man. Don't chat to me ever again. I swear down. Get away from me. You dusty. They would say, what do you mean? And they would have turned into the problem solver. The mistake we made. Yeah, and all of us made it. Stop feeding them emotions. God will teach us. The universe is teaching us. Keep our emotions to ourselves. Right? They say that psychopaths and narcissists are emotionless. But they're not. They're very self-absorbed. They're very fragile. They do have emotions. But they keep them to themselves. They don't let other people know what they're thinking. They don't let other people know how they truly feel. That's the mask. That is the mask. So if you hit to the core of it and you door slam them and make them know that you're not interested, right? We've made the mistake now. We've given them emotional responses. We've fed their supply. Just cut away. Cut away in all shapes and form, right? I mean, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Cut contact with them. If you still have to communicate because of your children, communicate solely because of your children. You have to look behind the veil. They're doing things on each visitation. They're doing little things to get one over on you. They're doing little things. They're trying to talk little things. Don't say bye to them. Don't say goodbye. After you've laid down, that's why I say, if you don't say goodbye initially, right, they're just going to think you're sour, bitter, and resentful because they're breaking up with you. But if you tell them about themselves and you say, I'm happy this happened. I'm grateful. Show them that you have trust in something greater than them. Tell them, even if you don't believe it, because I'm telling you the truth and you will believe it within time. Tell them that you're grateful that it's over. Do you know how grateful you will get there? I promise you. Do you know how grateful I am that I'm not in this relationship with a narcissist? I swear it. I swear it. I'm so grateful. You don't understand how grateful and thankful I am. But at one time, I was broken. At one point, I was broken. At one point, I was having dreams about them. At one point, I couldn't see nothing but them. I couldn't get through the day. You know? I couldn't get through the day. Plus, I had the whole smear campaign and all other issues that I had to deal with as well on top of that, right? But now, some years later, And it's not just because I've ran into someone new and I'm living happily ever after. It's not the case, right? I've seen other people, I've met other people, but a lot of them I've ran into a narcissist as well. That's why I'm a bit of a solitary soul. And you understand that the reason why God puts us alone is to stop us being codependent. A lot of us suffer with codependency issues. That's why we was in these stupid relationships. And I'm sorry to call it that. I made a video the other day about the trauma bond. And I was a bit harsh in the video, and I don't want anyone to take it personally. Yeah? I don't want anyone to take it personally, what I was saying. But it's true. Like, if someone cheats on you, they're unfaithful, you've got to understand the ancient laws that are in place to do with marriage, to do with even boyfriend and girlfriend, but to do with being together, one, under God or under the universe, having a companion, all of that, and they're breaking the laws of the land. They're breaking the laws of partnership. They're breaking the laws of that. They've broken laws. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're speaking to someone else, cheating, devaluing you, they're breaking laws because they're meant to be your, the bona fide person, like your ride or die, someone who stands with you through the rain. That's what they're meant to be, and they're not that. So that's why when God and the universe sees us being codependent on these sorts of people, where we feel like we can't live without them, right? That's why a separation has to take place. You have to understand. It doesn't matter how long you was with them. You have to understand that a separation needed to take place for your sanity. A separation needed to take place for your well-being, your mental health. It had to take place. And now you've got the answer. And it had to take place for you to be able to be on your own and understand the importance of being alone. It's a powerful thing, standing on your own. Don't give in to the stigma of being alone. Don't give in to what your friends think about being alone. Don't give in to that. Break from that. They don't understand it. Your friends don't understand it. Your family don't understand it. I understand it because I lived it. You understand me because you lived it. Do you see where I'm coming from? No one's going to understand it. It's why you're here on YouTube. It's why you're trying to watch these videos and other videos of similar content. You're watching this stuff and you're resonating with it because they've been through it. Right? A lot of people in your life haven't been through it. So all I'm saying is, right, if you can put the door slam in place, right? Put the door slam in place. Lay down the law. You lay down the law. They broke the laws. So you can lay down the law one final time and then give them no more. Give them no more emotion. That's the last emotional response they're going to get from you. Once you do the door slam, obviously the door slam can be done just quiet. Door slam, that's it. But sometimes expressing ourselves is a very good thing and a powerful thing. As long as we don't let it get to an emotional side. We don't let it get to an emotional factor where we're getting emotional when we're saying it or anything like that. Right? We need to be cold. The coldest we can possibly be. And this is what we have to do, because we're actually, when we're doing this, we're severing the trauma bond. We're severing the codependency issue. You have to understand that the trauma bond itself is a codependency issue. You can survive without this person in your life. You don't need them. There's someone better. This codependency issue and the trauma bond is so brutal that it's like you can't see anyone else. Like, with a whole bag of people around, all you can focus on is them. That's codependency. That's the trauma bond. So just utilize this door slam. I've gone off topic a bit, but just utilize the door slam, because you'll see the response. And I'm not telling you to door slam just to get them back. When you door slam, they're gonna try and move the goalpost. They're going to try and make you jealous. You have to desensitize. You have to detach, as I said, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. You have to detach from this individual. There's no more connection between you two. If you have a child, that's the only connection, is they look after your child. Your child's going to get old. The child's going to hit 18 at one point. Eventually, you won't need nothing to do with them at all. Eventually, if you're paying child maintenance, you won't need to pay child maintenance eventually. So it's a work in progress, right? There's so many people that are in this situation where they're tied down with a narcissist through having a child and stuff like that. So just grey rock them every time. Don't feel sorry for them. You need to be mean to them, just like they were mean to you, right? It's not always like, it's not always offer your face, if you understand. Because they say Jesus said offer his face. It's not always that. Sometimes it's eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth out here. Yeah? This person has wronged you. They've done you wrong. It's time you repay them back what they've done to you. And then keep it moving. So the door slam is one of their fears. It's something they don't want. It's something they really don't want to happen. And when you do that, they will feel shut. They'll feel contained. They'll feel that they don't have a way to get to you. Do you see what I'm saying? They'll know that when they're moving forward, there's absolutely no way they can get back in your lives. Because if we keep living this codependency way, in this codependent way, if we keep living in this way where we're reliant on them, they'll think that they can go and do whatever they want and they can get back with us. And we have to lay down the law, do the door slam, grey rock method them if we have to be in contact with them, and let them know that they can never ever get back in our bed. They can never ever get back into our lives on the same way it was before. They messed up. You need to let them know there's serious implications for messing up and wronging you. You only need to say a few words when you say a few words if you want to do it. Just, you gotta be honest. If they've wronged you and cheated, even speaking to someone is cheating. They're a hoe. And they need to know. Yeah? If they've been with someone else, they're a hoe. If they've devalued you, they're on a higher perspective. I'll just add this in. If they devalued you, they don't think very highly of themselves. That's why they devalue people. But if they devalued you, then they're not a loving partner. They're not your companion. If they trauma bonded you through gaslighting, manipulation, love bombing, they're not a real loving partner. So this is the reality of what we're dealing with here. This is the reality of it. So I want you to, moving forward, try your hardest, right, to embrace what's happened. Try your hardest to love what's happened. Try your hardest to see the beauty in the detail. Try your hardest to see how you're becoming a stronger person. Try your hardest to see that before this happened, if you even spoke about it in hypothetical terms, you'd think you could never handle it. But here you are now handling it. So my hat's off to you. You're already doing it. You're already proving yourself that you're not codependent because you're handling it, right? Yes, we have down days. Yes, we have good days. But you have to see that this individual is no good for you. So put the door slam in place. Let them suffer the consequences. Look through the comment section on these videos. So many people have implemented. Someone called me out for that other day. I kept saying implemented the door slam. So many people have implemented the door slam, and you just have to see what, like, from what I read, they can't take rejection. Even if they've rejected you first, they can't take rejection. Reject them. Reject them. Reject them. Even if they discarded you first, reject them. Because you're having the final say. They love to get the last word in. They loved getting the last word. You get the last word in. You get the last word. If you say this stuff to them, for example, listen, you're the worst thing that come into my life. If you have a child, say, I'm grateful for having a child. You're the worst thing that's ever come into my life, right? Etc., etc., etc. And you lay it down how you want to do it, and you door slam them, right? If they say to you, I don't care, that's the worst thing they can say to you, right? If they say, I don't care, you know they do care. You know they're not honest. You know they're not truthful. So yes, of course they're going to say, I don't care. But they do care. You scarred their heart. They wasn't honest in the relationship. They wasn't honest when you're together. So they're not going to be honest now. You can't have a conversation with these people. They're deranged. They're delusional. They're liars. They lie so much for no reason. So why do you want someone around you that you have to second guess? You don't want that. I've always stood for the power of truth in a relationship. You have to see it. Imagine two people is honest together. Do you know how beautiful that is? It's not a beautiful thing that we had with these individuals. It's not a beautiful thing. They lied. But we don't need to feel like that everything was a lie and everything we believed in was a lie. No, that was a period in our life. We met someone. We tried our utmost. We done our best to provide. We done our best to be there for them. We done our best to build them up. Okay? They showed us what they think love is. Remember, it's not that they didn't love us. They pretend to love. They don't know how to love. They don't know how to pair bond. So they pretend to love. So we got the best that we could possibly obtain from this individual. And if they move on with someone else in their life, this new person they go in with their life, they're never going to be able to love them neither. They're probably going to run into a narcissist or a sociopath or a psychopath or some toxic individual. But I'm trying to say they're not actually going to be able to love that individual because they can't pair bond. So we never need to worry. We don't need to feel like we're missing out without them. We've actually got more by being by ourselves. Because you're basically by yourself in the relationship anyway. You've got to think about it. Like, did you feel alone? Because I did. They could have been in the room, but I felt alone. Look back. Maybe you don't see it yet, but I certainly see it. Sometimes I used to just want to be on my own. You know? I remember times where I used to just want to be on my own. And they would start an argument. Like in the morning, some mornings I used to just get up and go and chill. And then they would go, what are you doing? And they'd think I'm on my phone, like speaking to other people or something. And they would start. But they were just projecting what they do. Probably they're speaking to other people on their phone. And you know what? I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. Because they're the loser. They couldn't pair bond with me. They can't pair bond with no one else. So let them go around and make up fake relationships all they want. Because that's all they are. Just acting. Who cares about them? So man, just enforce this door slam enforce this door slam. That's what I've got to say. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I just had some of my vape. Just put this door slam in place to the best of your ability and keep it moving, and you'll feel relieved because you're closing the chapter. At the moment, the chapter's not closed because they've left you with all these unanswered questions. They left you with all these unanswered things. They want you to pursue that. They want you to fix it. They want you to pursue all the unanswered questions. They want you to look into their life and worry if they're cheating, or worry if they're moving on, or worry if they're doing all this. If you close the chapter and you say, I don't care, say, I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? I don't care about you. Close the door on it, right? Door slam them. They'll feel traumatized by that because everything that they done to try and lure you out, to make you worried, to make you insecure, to make you codependent, to make you rely on them, right? You don't need it. You don't do it anymore. Yeah, you don't play into it anymore. You've just door slammed them. You have the final say so. Have the final word. Have the final say so. Because it's a beautiful thing to have the final say so. And you've got to understand that trying to get a response from them that we want to hear is like trying to draw blood from a stone. So don't wait to hear a response. Door slam and walk away. You don't even want to hear what they have to say in response. You don't even need to hear what they have to say in response. And if they try and speak, tell them to shut up. Sometimes we have to be harsh. They've been harsh with us. They've been cruel to us. And that's why I say, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Anyway, I'll leave the video there. Please press the like and subscribe button. And if you want a one-to-one session, you can find the details in the description box. Anyway, I'll catch you all soon. Peace.